Hi guys, my name is Aditya. I'm a DP photographer from India. Today I'm going to talk about X-T4. I know this has been the most awaited review in the channel. I have spent 2 to 3 months with the camera. The day it got released in India, I planned to buy it and I bought it in a week. Fuji literally fixed every single problem I had with X-T3 and they created few problems that wasn't there on X-T3. Today I'm going to talk about what are all the things I love about it, the things I don't like about it, and the things that I really don't care much. I'll give you a spoiler. I love the camera. I really love the camera. And in this review, I'm not going to talk about the megapixel count or the image quality and all that. This will be mostly about, as a cinematographer, how I use this camera and also how this fits to my workflow. This is not to make anyone to hate or love the camera. This is just my thoughts. So take everything with a pinch of salt, and I hope something in the review helps you to make your buying decision. Gained a little bit of heft when you compare with the X-T3. The grip has become a little bit bigger. It also looks a little bigger when compared to X-T3, but that's not a bad thing. When I first used XH1, I thought, why is Fuji not making X-T4 like XH1 in an XH1 body, because I have bigger hands. But then slowly I started using X-T3 without the grip with like 23mm f2, and I love how the whole dial thing works, and I love how it works for photography especially. Now that the grip is a little bigger, I really love how it feels in the hand, and especially for photography. For video, I have got myself this cage. It's kind of a small rig thing. I'll leave the links below. When I want to get an extra handle on the top, this helps a lot with getting that stable video shots, but also to put my Ninja V on the top. But apart from that, this is a really good grip and I really like it. It's not that X-T3's grip is not good, but it's just that I got used to this grip and I really love it. The movie and still dial is such a great thing, and Fuji, I think, joined the party quite late, but I think this is such a great thing because every single thing that you change in the menu is only pertaining to photo and video separately, and it just gives me so much of peace of mind. When I'm shooting street, sometimes I want to just click a picture, but at the same time I feel like, oh, I want to take a small video bit, and I shift to movie mode. The shutter speed is still there and it's in 180-degree shutter rule. So yeah, it just makes life so much easier. I know it's very small, but minute details like this makes me feel that Fuji is actually giving importance to us cinematographers. So I'm actually very happy about it, and I'm very happy about the direction Fujifilm is also taking with, like, especially for videographers. When X-T3 came, the only thing I was praying was that it should have IBIS. Unfortunately, it did not have back then. Today in X-T4 we have IBIS. If you know, and if you have checked my previous videos, I love shooting handheld. Even with X-T3 I shot a lot of handheld because it had good rolling shutter. When I was shooting with, like, say 35mm or 25mm, 23mm, it was fine. But whenever I go with, like, say 56mm or any telephoto lens, it used to show this micro jitter. I was always praying, you know, that the X-T4 had IBIS and they gave it. Is it perfect? I don't think so, and it's far from perfect, but does it work when you want it? It definitely works so well. So many people are complaining and are comparing it with GH5. I guess it'll never get to a point of GH5 because the amount of space for the sensor is not there, I guess. But maybe, who knows, Fujifilm with, like, their future updates, they might actually fix it. When I want to shoot something safe with 56mm 1.2, like, to get that handheld look, at the same time not the micro jitter that you get with, like, smaller bodies, I don't ever take a camera with IBIS and just, like, do walking shots or, like, say try and expect it to be like a gimbal. So for my purposes, especially when I'm shooting with, like, handheld, I try and shoot like still, but where I have a little bit of that floating nature of it. But at the same time, sometimes I do a slow pan or, like, slow tilt, doing completely with handheld. I shot one entire video with handheld. You can check it out. Really love the fact that it has IBIS, and also it's quite decent. It's not as bad as XH1, but it's also not great as GH5 or something like that. But I'm guessing with like future updates, Fuji has to fix that little jerk that you get when you're doing like pans or tilts. Fuji mentioned that they fixed a little bit of IBIS problem in the last firmware update. Probably they did. I did not notice much of a difference, but I hope they actually dig into the problem of the jerky motion and of the jerk in the motion, and yeah, hope they fix that. Yes, Fuji, thank you so much again for upgrading the battery. I'm so glad Fuji has updated the battery. Both in XT2 and XT3 I was always using with battery grip because the batteries were so tiny and you never know when they get exhausted, so I had to use like one battery in the body and two in the grip. Even then they were like getting exhausted so quickly, and I used to have like 5 batteries each for each system. That was such a hassle. Now I literally carry 2 batteries and the whole day I'm good with it. I don't think I'll get a grip for this, or probably I have to. That's because of something what Fuji did. I'm very happy they updated the battery, and the battery life is really good. It's not great, but it's really good, and it's on par with something like an EOS R or like say the Sony Z batteries. The resolution of the display, I am so glad they made it a bit sharper, I guess. The resolution has been bumped from XT3 and it looks really sharp and nice and clean and brighter. So yeah, big thumbs up for that. Thank you, Fuji. Autofocus in photos works really good, and the eye autofocus is on point. I have not yet missed the focus on anything, because also I don't shoot 20 frames per second kind of a speed, but for my usage, especially for photos, I have not missed focus yet once, especially with the new tracking thing and the eye autofocus thing. I'm very glad they included it and I love it, and the autofocus on photos is top. Okay, this is the controversial part. I'm going to say things that some people might not agree about. Just take it as my opinion. Please don't kill the messenger like Tony says. Yeah man, so these are the things I really don't like about the camera, and this is something that is about my personal opinion. You might agree or not agree about it. Some things can be fixed in firmware update, so I am actually mentioning them here. Some can't be fixed at all, so I'm going to talk about the negatives of the camera. Please don't kill me. Come on, Fuji community, come on. I love Fuji, please. Let me start with a really small problem. The removable wire door. It was one of the best things I loved about the XT3. Probably it's because of the designing or the weather sealing or something that they mentioned. I don't remember why they removed it, but I kind of don't like they removed it, because it was so convenient, especially when I was doing like bigger shoots. I used to just remove the door, put it in my camera bag, go shoot and come back and put the thing back, and I'm really sad it's gone now. Yeah, we can't upgrade that on firmware, can we? So we have to live with it. Please Fuji, on XH2, please definitely give it to us, and I hope you're listening to me. Oh, as a consolation, they have given a removable door on the other side, so it's definitely a design thing. I don't think with like two 128 GBs in the cards, I don't need to remove the door for the entire day, so I really don't need it. But yeah, okay, thank you. Right now I'm actually shooting with EOS R, and I have plugged in my Zoom H6n line out to the camera, and I can monitor my audio with it. They removed it in the body on XT4. I don't know what to say about this. I tried to put this audio splitter and it didn't work. The only way is to get a grip. Like I said, I might have to end up getting a grip, or you can just like put that USB-C thing and bear with it. But I mostly use it for charging my battery with an external charger. But then because the battery life is good, probably I might just use it for the audio thing. I hope they don't do it for XH2. I hope they put the audio jack for XH2. So let's see, man. Micro HDMI, come on Fuji, come on. It's time you give us full size HDMI. In XT3 I have broken the entire motherboard of the camera, because in a shoot one of my assistants like kept pulling and putting, and the camera broke. I had to give it for Fuji for like 2 weeks, and I hope Fuji is listening to me. It's time we get a full HDMI on these cameras, because man, when A7S III with such a body can fit full HDMI, I think Fuji can definitely do it. And I really don't like the fact that they have not even given a mini HDMI on the X-T4 upgrade, especially because this is so good for video. Man, the only remedy is again like to put one of those small rig things to hold the wire and not move. Yeah, but it's still not reliable, and I would say in XH2 Fuji, please give us full HDMI port, and yeah, that just should fix once for all, man. Man, this is the biggest problem I have in this camera: autofocus and video. It just is not reliable. I've tried every setting. I've tried to change settings to each lens. I spent like 3-4 days just testing the autofocus. Maybe there is a fix, maybe there is one magic setting. The update definitely improved by 30%, but it's not anywhere near to perfect. On my X-T3, I never had any of these autofocus issues, especially with my f2 lenses. I just don't know, man. I shot an entire music video, Nothing For Own, with X-T3 with autofocus. As of September 2020, I don't depend on autofocus on this camera, and it's so sad because if you see the competition, Sony and Canon are destroying autofocus. I think it's time Fuji also fixes it. I think the mechanism is there, I think the technology is there, but I hope they just fix it in firmware, because I really want to use a camera with autofocus, especially when I'm on gimbal. In other cases, I'm fine mostly with manual focus, but with like gimbal, you really need a camera with autofocus, especially in today's date and age. Surprisingly, my autofocus works pretty decent with 18 to 35 Sigma lens when you put it with Finger EF2 FX Pro adapter. I did some tests and I was quite shocked. So there must be something with the coordination with the lens and the body in Fujifilm. And knowing Fuji, I know in the coming updates it'll get much better. How X-T3 in firmware 2.0 and 2.1, it got really reliable. So I hope the Kaizen updates will actually fix all the autofocus issues. So these are the things that don't matter much to me as a cinematographer or a photographer, but for some people this might be a really big deal for them. Initially, I was really excited to use classic Neg a lot because everybody on internet were raving about how great it was. Once I used it, I really liked it in the beginning, but like after a couple of days I got really bored of it, and I made really good presets that work great on my camera. So I only shoot RAW now. It doesn't matter much for me. And some people, I know few friends who actually only shoot with like classic Neg as their main picture profile, and then they shoot JPEGs, but I shoot RAW. The picture profiles don't matter that much because I'm not going to shoot anything other than F-Log on video. I don't even use Eterna for video. So I mostly nowadays shoot with Eterna as my picture profile for photos and F-Log for videos. I really don't care about the new picture profiles. Oh, about the bleach bypass. So many people have made it a big deal about it. Some people really don't like it. Some people have really hated the flippy screen. I always had flippy screen on GH5, GH4, EOS R. On X-T3, it did not have a flippy screen. I was pretty much fine with the tilty screen it had. But some people do vlogging and all, for them it might be a great deal. So it doesn't matter much for me. I actually really liked X-T3 screen, but I don't mind this because it actually helps me with like various things. Yeah, the sensor size debate, man, like it always happens. Some people ask me, because A7 III is full frame, do I get a better image on that? Most of it comes down to your preference. I always want to have best of both worlds. I want to have shallow depth of field when I use 1.2 and stuff, but when I want to have deeper depth of field, I want to have the camera to be able to do it easily. It's not that full frame cannot do, but it's just that whole thing changes, man. The size of the lenses changes, the problems of overheating, or the problems of rolling shutter, all of that comes. So I think Fuji picked up good middle ground to get like great specs, but at the same time give you like really good image. I'll be straightforward, I never missed a full frame while I was shooting X-T4 or X-T3. But having said that, some people like that full frame look. I'm not demeaning them. You should definitely buy a full frame camera. For a smaller body, I like it to be crop sensor. And I also love my GH5, even though it is micro four thirds sensor. I've gotten some insane images with GH5 as well. It depends on you, man, most of the time, what you can do with it. In this section, I'm going to sum up and give my thoughts on what can be fixed in the firmware update. If someone from Fuji is watching it, I hope they fix these things in the firmware. One is autofocus. I hope they can just fix the autofocus and make it as good as it can get. I'm guessing it's gonna get better in the next few updates for sure, knowing Fujifilm. The next thing that I want to see in a firmware update is fixing the IBIS jerk, the jerk that you get in the video. Please fix it. It has, like, if it can become a little more smoother than what it is, it'll be so useful. This is asking for too much, but I think if you can give us ProRes in the camera, it'll be great. And if you can give us ProRes RAW with Ninja V, it'll be really great, because other systems now have it. Then we'll have a great small camera which can shoot RAW. One more thing I would want in the firmware update is if you can give us spot metering in video, because I know metering only works for photo. If you can give us spot metering in video, because now I feel they're doing evaluative metering with video. That's what I think. But if you can give us to select either spot metering or the metering modes in video, it'll be great. I know it's asking for too much. I can use my external monitor, but there are times when I want to not use an external monitor or a recorder. I want to straight shoot in camera. I think these are some things that will make this camera really perfect. Autofocus, IBIS, one good ProRes codec, and the spot metering or metering modes in video. A lot of people had asked me to do a review on X-T4. I am not doing a lot of quality tests and everything, which you can check for X-T3, because it literally has the same sensor. I had to talk about what was my opinion on X-T4, and I had to ramble for a bit. This is not in any way to say that I hate this camera. I love this camera. Right now I have like 5 camera bodies, but every single day I kind of use this camera for both photography and video. These are some things I really have problems with, and I wanted to be open about it. Like, even though I'm a Fuji fanboy, I don't want to hide things that I didn't like about the camera. I wanted to be fair for people who are going to buy for the first time, who are going to invest so much money into a system. I think this is a great camera. If you're coming from, say, something like an X-T2, you can definitely blindly upgrade to this. It's a great upgrade. You got better battery life, you got IBIS, you got better image in video. But if you are coming from, say, something like an X-T3, if IBIS is something that you're looking at, like me, you might definitely upgrade. Who's coming from DSLR something, if you know, and if you know the problems of, or like quirks of mirrorless, you can definitely get into the Fuji system. It's a great system with like smaller lenses. The way it looks, the way it feels, the way you would want to go out and shoot. It's such a great camera. Like all of them, man, all the Fuji cameras, they just look so sexy. I'm really excited to use the camera for another 1 or more years and probably upgrade to XH2 or something. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for the video today. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope it helps you make your camera decision. This is my attempt to make it even better than what it is. Oh, also I made this beautiful preset pack and LUTs for Fujifilm system. They're legit good, and I've put all my experience into it, and my understanding about colors and everything into it. If you've been following this channel, for me color is everything. You should definitely check them out, and it also helps me make these videos and spend some time on YouTube. That's about it. Thanks a lot for all the love and support you've been showing. We're touching 20K very soon. I'll go now. See you. Thanks. Bye bye.